Excuse the hair, guys. This cow has a seriously sore front left foot, and we're going to do everything we can to make her much more comfortable, and I know for a fact that we achieve that. This is the Hoof GP, guys. Enjoy the video. So this is her front left foot. We've actually already trimmed her other 3 feet, which were perfect. And we've come to this one, which I already knew had a serious problem because she could barely bear any weight on it whatsoever. So, kick back, get yourself a coffee, and enjoy this trim. It's clear for us all to see that this cow's feet are not overgrown in any way. What's not so clear is the cavity lurking beneath that sole horn. This cow has had some sort of injury. She's either had a puncture wound or she's bashed her corium in some way, causing this cavity to form. So I actually spotted this cow was lame as we were getting out of the pen. She was really lame on this foot. Sometimes it's not their foot though, sometimes it's their ankle or their leg or their shoulder joint or their tendons or whatever. But you do kind of get to know which is which, and this is definitely her foot. It seems really obvious when we're sitting here watching our screens what the problem is, but when you're there, when you've got the knife in your hand, you need to be ever so careful because you've no idea how far these puncture wounds or breaks in the sole can actually regress into a cow's foot, and you certainly don't want to go too far. This puncture wound here most likely goes all the way through to her corium, and that's what's causing the problem. I would imagine this is going to be really deep in. As I trim away at the sole horn with my knife, you'll notice I don't only concentrate on the problem area, but rather I reduce the height of the whole sole right across the width of that claw. That's because I need to reduce the pressure on that point. I don't yet know there's a cavity underneath there, although we're just about to find out that there is. You can see how much space there must be underneath there. These bubbles are coming from my solution that I'm using to clean it out with. It means there's a cavity underneath there which is filled with air, and we need to get rid of that. So let's just reduce it down a little bit with the grinder and make it easier on ourselves. Carving away at the hoof horn can sometimes appear easy. This particular cow has really tough hoof horn because sometimes these cows are outside and that allows them to dry out and harden. When the hoof horn is tough like this, it's really easy to make mistakes because you're putting so much pressure through the blade of the knife, and you can go too far, which is why I find it good to use the grinder to take away the bulk of the material. It's now completely evident that we will need a block because we can't get a sufficient height difference between the sore claw and the good claw, and the block will help to elevate the sore one off the ground. So we get that BoviBonded on, and now comes the technical and finer part of the trim. So I'm just thinning out this whole area so that I can then effectively peel back the detached horn. Can you see how the whole of this sole is detached? Look. Can you see that, guys? I'm not sure if the camera picks it up well. So what I now know we can do is we can flick that up, look. Just imagine getting this taken off the bottom of your foot. Everything would have been getting trapped underneath there, effectively making it like walking on little bits of Lego. Kind of. You see, it looks like we're finished, but then if you get your finger, you can see all of that will peel back. Look. So if we give this a quick clean off, so here has been some sort of puncture mark, or something has happened here. Whether it's been a small infection or something she stood on, we'll never know. What we do know is it's punctured all the way through to the corium. That is a little bit that's exposed there. Now there's nothing really wrong with this foot now, apart from it's very, very thin. In fact, I can actually feel the corium really easily through there. So this just needs time to thicken up. There's nothing to kill, so a wrap isn't going to do it any use. When I spray iodine, whatever you want to call it, when I spray this brown liquid onto a foot, it's not just iodine. It's not just something I'm grabbing for the sake of putting something on. I'm deciding iodine is a good thing to put on this cow's foot because it'll harden up this exterior portion of the hoof horn. I know it looks like I just chuck it on willy-nilly and that's something I just spray on every cow, but it's not. This is a conscious decision to use a product, iodine, to dry out these outer layers of skin. It's not just something I put on for the sake of putting it on. But with that, guys, we are done. This cow is fixed. That's her. She's done. We don't need to see her again, other than to take that block off in about 6 weeks' time. Guys, thank you very much for watching. This has been the Hoof GP.